You ever look around and see all these brilliant, passionate people trying to fix the world's biggest problems, but their projects just fizzle out? It's a weird paradox, right? We've got the ideas, we've got the passion, so what's getting lost? Okay, let's get into it and see if we can figure out what's really going on here.
So this is the big question. It's not because people aren't trying hard enough, and it's definitely not for a lack of good intentions. I mean, from community gardens to huge global startups, so many projects with incredible potential just stop. What is the invisible wall they keep hitting?
And this kind of says it all. Just look at these numbers. More than half, 54% of all these amazing people leave their projects within 2 years. Just 2 years. That means for every 2 people starting something incredible, 1 is gone before it really gets going. This visual here nails it. The Changemaker cliff. They're not quitting. They're falling off a cliff of burnout and isolation.
Right, and this quote from Otto Sharma at MIT really gets to the heart of it. It tells us to stop blaming the person and start looking at the bigger picture. The problem isn't the people, it's the system they're forced to work in. It's like there are all these powerful radio stations broadcasting amazing stuff, but they're not on the same frequency, so nobody can hear each other.
So here's the big shift in thinking. The failure of these projects isn't an individual flaw. It's a systemic design flaw. You can't fix this by telling people to just hustle harder. You have to fix the environment itself. You have to fix the ecosystem where these great ideas are trying to grow. Let's just break down what this broken ecosystem actually looks like in practice. First, everyone is disconnected. Almost 3/4 of projects never link up in a meaningful way. That leads to so much wasted effort. People literally reinventing the wheel down the street from each other. Then there's that burnout number again. Over half the people are gone in 2 years. This, of course, makes funders really skeptical because they can't see the collective impact. And the final result? Stagnation. Almost nobody becomes part of something bigger. It's just this brutal cycle of isolation and wasted potential.
So to fix this, you have to aim for something called systemic change. Now, this isn't about just slapping a Band-Aid on a problem. This is about being the doctor who actually diagnoses the disease. It means digging deep to find the root causes, understanding the hidden feedback loops, and finding those key pressure points where one small push can create a huge domino effect.
Okay, so if the problem is a broken, fragmented ecosystem, then the solution has to be connection. It's about building a network underneath it all. Think of it like the root system of a giant forest. You don't always see it, but it's what lets all the individual trees talk to each other, share nutrients, and make the whole forest incredibly strong and resilient.
And this is exactly where the idea for Changemappers comes from. It's not just another app or a website. It's a really deep, research-driven project to build the very platform that allows for this kind of systemic change. And the key word here is co-create. It's being built with changemakers for changemakers. So, how is it supposed to work? Well, first, it connects people based on shared values, not just on doing similar things. It uses a visual, map-based design, so you can literally see the ecosystem of change around you. And it's built on a totally ethical, open-source foundation, meaning it's owned by the community, not some big tech company. But most importantly, it matches people to projects where they can not only give their skills, but also grow as a person. This idea completely flips the script. You know, the whole story of the lone hero riding in the save the day? It's over. It doesn't work, and it just leads to burnout. The future is about networked intelligence, where the group becomes so much smarter, so much more powerful than any single person could ever hope to be.
But look, a healthy network isn't just about connecting a bunch of people. It's about connecting the right people in the right ways. For this thing to really work, you need diversity. And that's where this idea of an ecosystem of archetypes comes into play. It's how the whole network can actually thrive.
Think about it. A real forest needs bees to pollinate, fungi to break things down, predators, prey, all of it. A social change ecosystem is no different. It needs people playing different roles. Changemappers calls these archetypes, basically recognizing that we all have different natural strengths we bring to the table.
Let's just take 2 quick examples. On one hand, you have the local practitioner. This is the person on the ground, the one everyone in the community trusts, building change one conversation at a time. On the other hand, you have the global amplifier. This is the person who can take that local story and share it with millions, completely shifting the public narrative. Now the problem is, these 2 people almost never meet. A healthy network connects them, and that's where the magic really happens. And of course, there's so many other roles. The weavers, the healers, the conveners, they all need to be working together.
And this whole system is guided by 4 really important principles. First, grow the people. The idea that real outer change always starts with inner work. Second, equip changemakers. Give them the tools and the research they actually need to succeed. Third, systems first. Always focus on the root cause, not just the easy-to-see symptoms. And finally, scale responsibly. This is about growing with resilience and health, not just growing bigger and faster for the sake of it.
So, what's the big vision? What's the end game? It's about completely shifting from a culture of burnout and isolation to one of regeneration and connection. It's about cultivating a thriving, interconnected forest of change, instead of just a bunch of lonely, isolated trees struggling to survive on their own.
And now for the good part, the potential impact. Just by connecting people, you could cut down on duplicated work by 40%. That is a huge amount of wasted energy and resources that can be put to better use.
And remember those skeptical funders? By showing this collective, coordinated impact, you could boost their confidence by 60%. They're not just funding a random project anymore. They're investing in a healthy, thriving ecosystem.
And this brings us right back to the beginning. By creating real support networks, you fight that crippling isolation. You could increase how long projects survive by 50%. This is how you solve the changemaker cliff.
So you see, this isn't just about making things a little bit easier or a little more efficient. The ultimate goal here is to create a critical mass, a tipping point, where positive social change becomes self-sustaining and totally irreversible.
And that leaves us with one last massive question to think about. Just for a second, forget about all the limits of our current broken system. Instead, just imagine what becomes possible when every single person, every project, every community working for a better world is part of one intelligent, supportive, and regenerative network. Seriously, what could we achieve then?